Retirees turn old stuff into new spending money. Hi, today we're going to deep dive into eBay and whether you can supplement your retirement with an eBay store and start selling things. You know, many people do, and I know a lot about eBay, so I thought I would share that for new and future retirees if you want to supplement your retirement income. You know, not everyone has enough in their retirement savings to support them in retirement when they're 62, 65, 70, or, you know, sometimes earlier and sometimes later. They just need a little extra money for those unexpected expenses. And boy, do those unexpected expenses pop up these days. And when they do, everything is so much more expensive. Whether it's repairs to your house or your car or just an oil change, you know, whatever it might be, things are getting more expensive, and it's putting a major crimp on retirees. So, you know, the concept of a second job or a retirement part-time job is very popular, but not everybody wants to be out there in the workforce after you've spent 30, 40, 50 years doing that. And some people want to be their own boss, and they're finding eBay is a way to do that. Now, there are drawbacks to eBay, but there are also tremendous benefits. And what seems like might be a small amount of money can very quickly turn into a significant part-time income, you know, for people who give it a try. You have to be somewhat brave to try this, you know, if you're willing to try new things. And you do need to be computer literate, at least, you know, at a moderate state, to be able to take digital pictures and create a listing and get that stuff up on eBay. You also need to master shipping and how to get you know, shipping supplies and how to obtain the cheapest shipping. Make sure stuff arrives quickly and arrives undamaged, right? So we're going to talk more about that, but I'm going to start by talking about this little article here from this is from Real Life Retirement. And very quick, very short little article, but retirees turn old stuff into new spending money. Now, in a little bit, I'm going to show you someone on YouTube that does that, who's a personal friend of mine, that is, he's retired on a school pension, and, you know, it's just not enough without forcing him to dig into his nest egg. So he supplements his retirement with eBay and actually does quite well with it if, you know, you're talking about modest amounts of money that get you over the hump. But in this article, it says reselling is popular with retirees. So often they start reselling by selling off old stuff from around the home or from the garage and yard sales around their neighborhood. Okay, so, you know, every older person has a stack of stuff that they may be treasures and they may be trash, but they are very likely worth something to someone. And eBay is the way to monetize that old stuff. And sometimes you might even find a treasure in that old stuff that, you know, you really can't tell what will be popular in the future. You may have thought that it was, you know, grandma's Hummels would be, you know, really expensive in the future. Well, no, not so much. But did you know that Nintendo video cartridge cards would go for thousands of dollars? No, that stuff is really hard to predict. And whatever you've got in your garage, whether it be one of those Nintendo cartridges from when your kids were young, or maybe a vintage Furby, or possibly, you know, some really nice vintage toys that people are collecting these days, you know, collectible cards. Do you have a Pokemon card set? You know, you really don't know till you get into eBay and you check the resale prices. Okay, I will also show you how to do that when I get onto eBay. But, you know, you start with the stuff around your house and you will likely, I mean, if you include clothes and shoes and handbags and just things that are in good shape. The secondary clothes, shoes, handbag market is really very, very popular, especially if you have designer stuff, vintage stuff. Maybe you have an old Rolex. Maybe you have, a woman's watch of a similar quality. Maybe you have a gold watch, which gold is nearly 20 is about $2,300 an ounce today. Don't forget the gold and silver that you've got hanging around, which I recommend you save, not sell. But if you have a gold watch, you may want to sell it, and maybe you'll get $1,000 for that. Okay, and there are fees and such, and we'll go through that as well. But you start with the stuff around your house, you declutter, you simplify your life, and you make money while you're doing it. Now, it does also say in this article that in the old days, well, even currently, many people would just donate those things and benefit charity, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is actually, a very altruistic thing to do. And if you're well set for retirement, then by all means, feel free to call the Goodwill and have them haul off that old stuff. But if your retirement is lacking, like so many seniors are, especially because of inflation, which is nobody's fault but our government's actually, then I wouldn't fault anyone for reselling items on eBay. One other tip I'll give you is the smaller the item, the better, because big things are hard to ship. Furniture and so forth, or even large appliances, they are hard and expensive to ship. The smaller, the better. Okay? So eBay is quite obvious, and I almost hesitate to mention it, but the fact is that people do make money by becoming eBay sellers. Two retirees, Marge and Joan, both single women, began by cleaning out some odds and ends in their home. Earlier in their lives, they would have given the items to charity, but as retirees on limited incomes, they sold them on eBay. Their expert eyes in identifying good saleable items, treasures among the junk, led them to become the authorities on collectible linens and china. Really important point here. If you're older, you are likely smart. You have knowledge that other people may not have. And you're able to do research, you know the value of real things, and you can become an expert. You can go deep into one particular area. This is, they said, linens and china. I don't recommend China. I don't think there's much of a market for China. But, linens, possibly there are. Old collectible linens, embroideries, patchwork quilts. You get the message. Those things that are handed down through the family that your kids may not want. And, ask them before you sell it because they might want it. But very often they won't want it. They won't have room for it in their apartment. And, it may not get monetized properly or saved when you give it to your kids. So have that discussion with your kids about what they want and what they don't want. And you know what? If you have several children, somebody says, oh, I really want the train set, or someone else says, I really love Grandma's china, etc., go ahead and put their name on it and stick it somewhere on the item for when you pass. So, your heirs will know that you wanted that to go to a certain child or sibling or whoever it might be. Do that for them. The other part of it, the stuff that you don't love and you can live without that's cluttering up your house, well, go ahead and sell it. Now, the other thing that, Marge and her partner said is they've gone to garage sales, tag sales, and estate sales for new items to sell weekly. So now, once you're doing that, you are in the eBay business. You are a seller. You are an entrepreneur. You're not just cleaning things out of your attic and your garage. You're actually looking for things to flip. And there's a person on YouTube, like I said, a friend of mine that does that turns, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year on eBay to supplement his teacher's retirement income. And let me go over there really quickly and see if I can find his channel. I'm going to put a link to it, and he's a really nice guy. Hold on one second. So let's go to YouTube, and his name is Silver Hair Stacker. He also collects precious metals, so he is a friend of mine because I do also collect precious metals and recommend those in retirement. Let me just get to his main page. So, yeah, he's showing you things here that he has picked up at garage sales and estate sales. He lives in Texas, okay, and honestly, it is, very impressive that he's actually willing to, drive a couple hours to a Texas estate sale in 90-degree heat. So he's pretty robust. But here's his channel, and I'll link to it. And he'll talk about how he'll pick up rings. Here he's picked up rugs. Oh, he knows what is valuable. Here's a ring. Here's a gold watch. Right? Okay, I actually have one of those to sell that I inherited. But, this is a channel you want to take a look at because he has got a great attitude about it. He calls himself an old geezer, but you know what? Old geezers are smart. And he already knows when he's at the auction. He has his phone with him. He can look things up. I'm going to show you right now how to do that on eBay. Let's get back over to eBay. Okay, so let's say that you want to sell a gold pocket watch. Gold, and I was doing this recently because I do have one to sell. Okay, here's gold pocket watches. Here they are. They're 25 bucks. They're 300 bucks. They're oh my gosh, let's see. There are some expensive ones in here. Here's a one that's 1,695. High quality watch, stag image on the watch. So that's a good one, right? So these are list prices, and list prices really don't mean a whole lot. When you're on eBay and you're searching, I don't know why my screen isn't shrinking. Here we go. When you're on eBay and you're searching, you want to go over to the left-hand side of eBay and click sold items. Okay, and you also want to be in the ended recently category. You don't want to be the cheapest or the highest. And in here, you can get an idea for, here is a $100. Well, let's see. Let's keep going. See, a lot of these don't sell for that much. Okay, this is gold filled. You'd need to know the difference between solid gold and gold filled. It's the difference between $99 and possibly, let's add the word solid here. And I'll get off of this in just a minute and get on to the good stuff. So here's a solid gold watch, not working, $229. Here is, let's see, let's get to a fancier one. There's a gold chain, $1,900. Wow, that is a lot for a pocket watch chain. That must be really vintage. Here is a vintage, I don't know the name of this maker. It's a 14-karat solid gold Art Deco watch. That's actually a collectible watch. The thing I did with my gold watch is I took it into the local coin shop. I actually had a couple, and I had one that was like this, which is gold filled, and he said it ain't worth much, but that's still $140, right, on a sale price. Somebody actually sold this. And then I had another one he said was solid gold, and I don't know if that was 14 karat or 18 karat, but that one could be worth, probably something like this. That could be worth $1,000, right? So, be very careful with your jewelry and your precious metal items when you go to sell them on eBay. If you price them too low, they will sell quickly, and then you will have, cheated yourself. So here is eBay, and let's just go into let's go help and contact. So here are some tips. So here is let's do selling, right? Selling on eBay. Now here are the tips I give you. I do sell on eBay. I supplement my income with that. I mostly sell coins. But sometimes I sell art or other things from around the house. I've sold shoes and toys and I mean, whatever. A few years ago, I used to go to garage sales with the kids, right? It was a really great family activity for my young children. And you know where we would go? We would leave our neighborhood and we'd drive about 20 minutes and we'd go to retirement communities, 55 and over retirement communities. They were little individual houses, and ultimately we had a relative that moved into that neighborhood. But, great garage sales and estate sales every day, or at least every weekend, in the retirement communities near you and estate sales near you. And buying from estate sales is another thing you can do. You probably want to wait till the last day to get the stuff that's really on sale. But let's go back to eBay and let's just look at listing your items. Okay, how to create a listing. This will be an article that'll show you how to do that. Selling limits, canceling bids, ending a listing, blocking an annoying buyer, etc. But I really want to get to the fees. Okay, so there are generally on eBay, and different categories have different fees. Okay, if some fees are quite low, could be, I don't know, 4 or 5%. Other fees can be 10%. I think they might even go to 12% on certain items. And I forget what that was on, but you want to know what the fees are for the item you're selling, and as a benchmark, you can assume somewhere in the neighborhood of 10% fees. Okay, and if you charge for shipping, then that'll pretty much be it, about 10% off the top, and then shipping paid by the buyer. If you want to give free shipping, which is what I do because I think people like that, then you might be up in the 12% category, because shipping doesn't get much cheaper than $5 these days and can easily go up to $15 even through the U.S. Postal Service, which I use exclusively. They do a great job. Their prices are pretty cheap, and you can ship really heavy things up to 70 pounds, actually, I think, with priority mail, which may cost you $20 to ship, but really heavy things can be shipped priority mail with these, any weight items. So I do like the USPS. Now, in the store, if you are going to sell quite a few items, and if you are going to sell, let's say, over $1,000, I'm making that number up, a month. Let's say you get really serious about it, you clean out your house, you start going to garage sales, you start looking into becoming an expert, a deep dive in some area. I mean, I have another friend actually that I know from YouTube that sells vintage Bibles. She's an expert, she's a Christian, and she knows everything about old Bibles. And she makes good money picking up Bibles at garage sales and selling those on eBay's. But she knows the expensive ones from the ones that don't sell. She also sells cast iron frying pans, etc. And she's an expert on that. She knows how to clean them with lye, and she knows how to repurpose them, reseal them, and she sells a frying pan for $100. Now that's heavy, so there'll be a $15 ship charge on something like that. But so if you're going to get into that stuff, the store selling fees are a way to really reduce your eBay charges. You'll have virtually unlimited listings, and you'll pay a monthly fee whether you sell a penny or not, and then you can drop your premiums down. I'm sorry, you can drop your selling costs down quite a bit. This is the membership I have. It's the basic membership. Okay, and if you do it on a yearly basis, which I do, it's $21.95 a month. Okay, so that's worth it for me because sometimes I sell some high value items, and that works out well. And in that category, there'll be no insertion fees. And let me see if I can get the what the charges are. Final value fees. Okay, here's final value fees. And let's see. Trading cards, for example, can be at 13.25%. Books and magazines are 14.95. That's surprising. Musical instruments, 6.35%. So you have an old guitar in the garage. Maybe you got a vintage Fender Stratocaster, right? By the way, that's probably worth, $5,000 if you didn't know. But maybe you just have, an old Yamaha guitar or something. Anyway, 6.35. Jewelry, 15%. Oh my gosh. 9% if the sale is over $5,000. Wow, these fees have gone up a lot, guys. Art is 5%. That's interesting. And let's see, 8% on clothing. Okay, so you'll probably pay 8% if you're selling in, shoes and shirts and suits. Good market for that stuff. Be sure you take a lot of pictures and you really identify, any problems. You probably don't even want to sell stuff that's got rips or tears or stains, maybe unless they're old jeans that are valuable. But 8% on clothes, and then 13% if it is less than $150. Okay, so eBay has really geared things to more frequent sellers. They really don't seem to want the small guy anymore. And that's unfortunate. But if you're going to do this, then, you may want to decide that you're going to do it maybe a little bigger than you had anticipated. Otherwise, you're going to pay 13%. But if you have a store, and I just wanted to get the selling fees in a store, final value fees, I want to find that $21.95 store, seller store. What store? Which store is what I'm wondering. Stick with me here. This is not organized well. What store is this? Automobile parts as well. Yeah, you got an old junker in the front yard. You start pulling parts off that thing, carburetors and whatever might come off that, and you can sell that stuff, man. Auto parts are extremely expensive, and if you have some vintage parts, those are hard to find. Oh my gosh, they're just not going to give this to me. Anyway. I am not finding the store categories, but let's just say offhand is I have found that having the store is an excellent way to reduce your selling costs. If it's normally, say, 8 or 10%, you can drop that down to 6%. Just as an example, that's kind of an example in the categories I sell in, usually 8 or 10%, but that comes down to 6 or 7%. The higher your rating, the better your rating, and you want 100% positive feedback, then they're going to drop you're going to become a best seller category, and they're going to drop your fees further because they like that. You sell a bit and your feedback is 100%. If you have something that's going wrong, you want to fix that right away on eBay. And they're there to help as well if you want to ask them for help. So I would recommend the store category, and you can do that month by month. So if you're going to have a month where you sell a bunch of stuff, you'll want to buy the monthly the monthly basic membership at $27.95. Sell everything you want and get those discounts, and then you cancel at the end of the month, and you're back to no store, right? And you don't have to populate a store with a bunch of items. No requirement. You can have a store and list only one item. You also, when you're starting out, want to build that positive feedback. If you've never sold before, you want to get a solid 5 sales in. Maybe you want to sell 5 things a little under market and provide exceptional service, quick shipping, excellent package, good feedback, good communication. Get yourself 5 really nice ratings before you start selling the expensive stuff. Because I'll tell you, if you have no feedback and you go to sell $1,000 watch, let's say you run an auction versus a buy it now, you're going to sell for less because people will be skeptical of you. If you're outside the United States, you're going to have a really difficult time selling in the United States with shipping fees and skepticism that comes with listings that are not local. So, but you can do eBay. It is a way to capitalize on things. Now, you may want to try Etsy. You may want to try garage sales, but I find that garage sales don't really bring much profit. eBay is a way to maximize, what you have in the garage. Let's say that you have a Keurig, K-U-R-I-G, coffee maker. I mean, let's just say Keurig coffee maker, and we will call that used. Open box used. Okay, just used Keurig coffee makers. Here they are. 35 bucks. Let's do sold. Let's see what they sell for. Now, who doesn't need an extra 35 bucks, right? And if you have a Keurig in your garage and it still works well, and by the way, the old one works better than the new one. A lot of people are looking for the old one because the new ones are garbage with all the electronics in them. Okay, let's just a regular size Keurig. This is a touch screen. No, those are no good. Let's see. Here's an old 29 bucks. Here's 52 bucks. That's a newer one. Well, I don't want to say you're going to make a fortune off this, but here's an old Keurig. They sold it for 30 bucks. They shipped it priority mail. They charged $15. So that went into a larger, priority mail shipment. That was probably a little heavier, so you want to go USPS. Although some people ship FedEx and UPS as well. I like USPS, but FedEx and UPS are apparently more reliable. There you go. So there's this person made 30 bucks. They paid, $3-4 off the top for the eBay charge, 25 bucks in their pocket. What did that entail? Well, they had to take these pictures. They had to write a good listing. They had to say that it's working without a doubt. They had to, make the sale. Then right away, quick like a bunny, they had to pack that thing up. They had the shipping supplies and the ability to print labels and so forth before they made the listing. So you're going to want to get the shipping supplies. You can go down to USPS and pick up priority mail boxes for free. You can buy discounted shipping boxes right on eBay here. You can buy all your supplies on eBay. When you do that, I recommend the PayPal credit card. You get 3% off when you buy on eBay through the PayPal credit card. You pick up your supplies. The other thing you're going to need, and I highly recommend this, guys, if you think you're going to be going back and forth to the post office to have them weigh your stuff and create your shipping labels, you will not do it. You will give up. You need a printer. Okay, printers can be 50 bucks these days. eBay shipping is reasonable. There's a discount on it. You'll want a reliable printer. You'll want to ship through eBay for the most part, for most of you, unless you're really a heavy hitter. And you print your label at home. Have your shipping supplies. Have that thing, packed and ready to go almost before you post the listing. Print your label on your digital printer. Tape it on with some good tape. Don't forget you're going to need tape. Okay, and you're going to need bubble wrap and, whatever. I use newspaper. I've got, was getting free newspapers for almost a year. I saved them all, and I use that as packing supplies. Anything you buy, you save the bubble wrap, etc. You wrap it up really good, then you wrap it up again, and you make sure it will not break. Okay, and that could be a box within a box. That could be extra bubble wrap and extra packing. Sometimes they smash your boxes, so do pack well. And but anyway, be ready to go and ready to ship. And on your way to work or in the morning, make a trip to the post office and drop that baby off. And it is gone. It'll be there in 3-4 days. You'll get a positive rating, and you'll have, in this case, at least $25 for getting rid of something something that was an eyesore in your garage. That's all I'm going to say about eBay today, but I do it. I enjoy the extra income. I will just give you one caveat, and that is they may, and they haven't recently, but they may send you a 1099 at the end of the year, and then you may want to think about, tax reporting, Schedule C, and having a sole proprietor business. Very easy to do. You'll need a business license and you'll need a reseller license. You can get both of those for under $200 at your at your local county. And you may need to do a Schedule C. Schedule C, if you're going that route, and if eBay sends you a 1099, which they haven't recently, but if they do in the future because you sold $20,000 or $100,000 of products or a large number of small items, my daughter, for example, is growing air plants and such, and she is doing small eBay sales, selling beautiful little air plants on eBay. It's extra income, but if you do hundreds and hundreds of $20 items, you could also get a 1099. But a Schedule C is not the worst thing in the world if you have a little bit of tax acumen, because you can write stuff off. You can write off part of your utilities, write off part of your retirement home, certainly all the supplies you've purchased and all the costs and everything, giving you a net profit, which is much lower than the actual profit you've made on the item because you have write-offs. Okay, so that's the last thing I'll say about that, and that could discourage some of you. But once you do it, it's not all that painful. Okay, so that's what I have for you about selling on eBay to supplement retirement income. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll put some links down in the description to the channels that I've recommended. And I would just say to you, you know what? You can do it, guys. You can do it. I love extra income, however you create it. And, there's always going to be effort in something. But if it's a gig that is easy for you, you can do on your own time, and you actually enjoy kind of treasure hunting, boy, there are times where you will find things that will blow your mind. Maybe it's a sterling silverware set that's worth $1,000 that you picked up at the Goodwill because they didn't know it was sterling. Or maybe it's that Pokemon card set that you bought at the retirement, garage sale because they didn't know how much value it is. The more mentally acute you are and the more you can become an expert in one thing, you will blow this out of the park. I'm telling you, people are doing it, and you just have to be a little bit brave, and you can do it too. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you. Now, I would love, one, for you to give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that, so we can get this video out there to the retirement community or anybody that wants to sell on eBay. And two, what was two? Like the video, and I forgot number 2. I'm getting old, guys. Okay, well, maybe you are too. I'll talk to you guys later. I do appreciate the thumbs up, and and there is a link to this is what I forgot. The sponsor of this channel is newretirement.com, and they have been so kind as to put me sponsor me. And if you sign up for a free trial of this software, if you check my retirement videos in that category, you'll see that I've done demos on newretirement.com, and this is just an absolutely essential tool. And I won't go through all the details, but this will really help you in retirement. And anyone who has tried the free trial for 2 weeks, that is right here, I think, this link, you will renew for about $120 a year. I'm a paid member, and especially if you're in that middle category, you don't have that $1 million put aside. You're a moderate income person in retirement. Maybe you only have a few $100,000. And some people say, wow, that'd be fantastic if I had that much. But wherever you are, this will help you plan and integrate all of your ideas and all of your plans, from your assets to your debts to your Social Security income planning, when to take it, what your benefit will be, et cetera, and how to plan your rates of return in any retirement accounts that you have. It will tell you if you're on track, under track, and there are lots of useful tips that come out every week from newretirement.com. So please give that a try. That is the other thing I ask. Do try the free trial, and if you want, you can set up an entire retirement plan without paying a financial advisor, 1% of your nest egg to manage it, and I think you'll be very impressed on how robust and how on point this site is. All right, that's the only two things I ask. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip flop. This is Louie, out.